Hey guys, welcome. Welcome aboard if you are brand new. Welcome back if you're not, and welcome home if that sits beautifully for you. Today we're going to do a pick a card reading, and we are going to look for messages. Any messages that you are needing, anything that you are needing to hear, whether that relates to your journey, what's coming up in your life, what's moving through for you, answers to questions. Literally just open to whatever is necessary for your highest good and the highest good of all. I've got 4 piles today. So we have the hawk is pile 1, the oyster is pile 2, the moth is pile 3, the unicorn is pile 4. There will be timestamps in the box down below, so you can go straight to your reading. If you already know where you want to go, you can listen to 1 or 2 or 3 or all of these readings. It does not matter. Whatever feels right for you. And as always, remember this is a general reading. So whatever resonates for you, feel free to pick that up and feel free to leave behind anything that does not. And this is the place where your intuition meets the magic of this interaction, right? So allow your intuition to choose without thinking, right? Let that pile pick you, whether that is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, or pile number 4. You get to be part of the magic. That's how this works. So I'll be quiet for just a minute, and then I will see you in your reading. All right, welcome to those of you who have chosen pile number 1 or the hawk pile. So let's talk about this for just a little bit while we pull some cards. So the hawk is resonant with air energy, right? And air is dynamic. It's quick moving. It gathers a lot of information, but can be a little bit ungrounded, right? Specifically, the hawk is very watchful. It's far-sighted, right? Hawks can see far in order to gather their prey. So they're sharp-eyed. They're really known as messengers from the divine. They are aware of both the micro and the macro. So the big picture and the details, right? So they're also adept at riding the shifts, right? Riding the wind and the current. So this generally is about trusting your intuition, excuse me, and overriding your suspicious nature, right? Trusting what you're taking in. And again, sometimes one of the keys to the hawk is how we choose to witness our redirections, right? How we allow ourselves to take in tons of information and really choose our discernment, creating that awareness within the cycles, within the micro and the macro, right? Really witnessing ourselves as that fulcrum point where we are the moving part, right? Where we are the moving part, able to grasp, right? The key, of course, as always, is how grounded we are. So pile number 1, I'm going to say to you, check your grounding first and foremost, and make sure that what you're taking in is accurate, right? Is beyond the capacity of any kind of illusion or misreading the signals, right? Remember, this hawk is absolutely beautiful at taking in what is available for witnessing. So just make sure that what you're seeing is what you're actually seeing, if that makes sense, right? Right. As above, so below. You want to make sure that you're witnessing reality, not just your projection. So let's talk here. Let's go through these cards. So you start off with 2 4s, right? The 4 of Cups, the 4 of Wands. So this is a real push me pull you here, because this is how we engage or disengage, right? That Four of Cups is a disengagement. This is where you're bored, where you're not paying attention, where you're maybe what it is that you're seeing is really not what you're interested in seeing, not what you want to see. And so you disengage, right? And that Four of Wands is an engagement, right? Wands is that fire energy. It's really how you lean in. It's how you say yes to what's around you and what you've created based on your passionate engagement. You also here have the Three of Cups, which is kind of a backpedaling, right? Into a celebration energy. And then you've got the World over here. So this is really maybe witnessing the way that you're moving through a cycle right now. What are you focusing on, right? And are you allowing yourself to be stuck in one point of view, or are you moving in a fluid manner that's giving you a wider perspective and allowing you to be in your joy? So perhaps there's been something that's been feeling stuck for you, and witnessing that that's just part of the cycle, right? That's just what is, but also allowing the currents to redirect you instead of choosing to maintain focus on simply one thing when you have an entire, let's call it, banquet of things to focus on. So choosing your focus is going to be key for you in this next cycle. Let's move here. So, okay. So temperance is the way that you take this energy and process it, right? This is where you synthesize your experience and your knowledge into your own wisdom. The Five of Pentacles says, what did I feel was lacking, right? Where was I perhaps lacking, right? What gave me this disengagement kind of energy? And how did I ride that current through? What did I have to do to move through that cycle? Well, generally, of course, when we're going to move through a cycle, we want to go internal and figure out where that was. So what did you believe was missing in your process, in your experience? And how did your knowledge or awareness of your own inner contribution to that circumstance shift and change for you, right? What were you able to witness when you pulled back and looked in a different way? Or what might you be able to perceive if you pull back and look at your situation in a different way? How are you contributing to a sense of stuckness or disengagement, right? How are you, let's say, fostering your own feelings of lack, your own feelings of something's missing, right? And if you really look internally, can you see where that actually is already present and you're just not claiming it, right? Because these are cards of claiming. And maybe there's someone in your life who's modeling that behavior for you, right? Three of Cups is how we engage, how we celebrate with others. And so let's move down a little bit more. So you have the Two of Wands and the Nine of Cups, right? This is really making that choice. Two of Wands is, where is my heart? Where is my passion? Where am I engaged? Am I going to look here or here? You get to choose. The Nine of Cups says, well, my emotional health is dependent on what I choose here. So whatever it is that you're choosing to focus on that's leading to that feeling of disengagement and perhaps spiraling and spinning, as you move back toward your own center, you get to witness that you can choose in the highest and best, right? This is a card of wish fulfillment also. So whatever it is that you're calling in, you've already got, right? You already have it. Allow yourself to fall back into your intuition instead of sidestepping into a place where you're actually engaging with that sense of lack, that sense of scarcity, that sense of, I don't want this, so I'm just going to pull up my wheels. And then your guidance is the Eight of Wands, which is about motion, right? These are these are both cards of motion, right? That hawk is going to soar whenever possible, whenever necessary, right? But also knowing when to stop and observe. So is there a way that you can change your vantage point, right? Your observation point, which is simply about changing your perspective. Always a great thing, right? Always a great thing when you want to look from a different way. So whatever's coming in for you, pile number 1, this is a shift in perspective for you. This is how you're going to be able to easily, right? Easily and innately witness a shift in your perspective. The something is keeping you out of your own bliss, your own joy, your own happiness, your own strength, right? But there's a shift for you in your perspective, in what you're looking at and the way that you're choosing to look at it. Yeah, it's going to be a big shift and change. Okay, so here's your message. Courage and trust. Step into the void of uncertainty. Trust in life, existence, and that your soul will guide you to where you want to go and whatever you want to create. Life is made of big and little moments. One day you will look back and smile, knowing how precious every moment was. Right? Yeah. So step into the void of uncertainty. That's that flowing from that wider perspective into the focus, right? Does that hawk always know where he's diving when he's diving? No, but it's about trusting, right? It's about trusting the process, and understanding that everything can only be perfect for you. Celebrate where you are. Right? These are both cards of bliss, joy, and celebration. And so the way that we get there is to shift our beliefs surrounding what those things mean. And then when you understand it, right? When you understand that you're making every single choice and you just have to trust the process, then you move fearlessly, right? Because you understand you can't go wrong. You can't. So whatever way you're being asked to redirect your focus, whatever messages you're gathering from the divine, pile number 1, what a beautiful way to face those, right? So I wish you nothing but the best. Thank you for being here. And if this is where we part ways, I wish you nothing but good fortune and blessings. Take care and hit the subscribe button so you can come back and tell me how it goes. Take care. Hey, pile number 2, welcome. So you have chosen this Oyster card. I love it, right? So the Oyster is the element of water, right? And so we know that water is about feelings. It's about emotions. It's about how we share and express what's going on within us, right? And as we are beings of mostly water that are pulled by the tides of our feelings, how we manage that really has to do with how we are able, how we are capable to move throughout the world. So the oyster is very patient, right? The oyster understands that no grit, no pearl, right? So we have to struggle through some of the challenges, and some specific challenges to the oyster are about taking your gifts for granted, about being unwilling to claim your own inner treasures, right? And so the way that we can do that is to remind ourselves that we don't need to doubt ourselves. We don't need to withdraw. We don't need to self-protect. Instead, we can choose vulnerability and to share our blessings, right, and our masterful gifts. And the way that we choose to be opened and to open ourselves always has to do with what we're willing to put forth into the world based on our own inner treasures, right? How we allow ourselves to share our secret hearts, our secret, well, thank you, centers, as the case may be. So it's about where we're willing to claim our blessings as public domain, versus something to be shut away, something to be hoarded or just not given freely, right? That is the quest of the oyster. So let's check out these cards. So we have the Two of Wands, the Magician, the Knight of Pentacles, the Four of Cups in this top row. So, beautiful. This is all the ways that we choose to lean in and trust the journey, right? This is how we choose to allow our highest and best options to manifest our lives. Even when the journey seems perhaps tedious, perhaps routine, perhaps boring to the point where we just don't really want to do it anymore. So this is about devotion, right? Two of Wands is always a passionate choice, a heart-based choice, the choice that we lean into in order that we fulfill our heart's destiny, right? And the Magician is all about that manifestation. Yes, absolutely. I feel this. I know that this is going to germinate into something not only useful for me, but also beautiful to the greater world at large. But I have work to do first before I can launch it, before I can release it, before it or I am prepared, right, to move into the world in my most beautiful form. Now, that doesn't mean you're not world ready at every step, but apparently you have a project, pile number 2, that you're working on, that you perhaps have been, let's call it, incubating for a while, something that's been held within you and now is being asked, not perhaps to be released, we'll see, but to be readied for release, to be buffed up, let's call it, shined to a place where you might be ready to let someone take a peek at it, or you might be ready to start talking about it, or you might be ready to begin to share it, even though it feels a little bit scary to you, even though you want to kind of hold back or even disengage from it and say, I don't think so. Maybe that wasn't such a great idea. That's your fear. That's your fear talking, pile number 2. Let's keep moving here. So you have the Hanged Man, the King of Swords, and Strength. Okay, so this is about shifting your perspective and releasing some beliefs that whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're creating, whatever it is that you're germinating is not good enough, right? So all of those fears that you're struggling through, these are beliefs. This is a belief system. These are, this is your shadow talking to you, right? This is an old program of not being ready, not being good enough. And the key is change your perspective, right? Call on your inner reserve because you already know that you are ready. Perhaps not that your product or service or thing, your pearl, is not ready to be shown, right? But that's okay. The process can begin before then, right? And so however it is that you're being asked to begin that process, the first step will be to pull back on those beliefs that are holding you back. So, of course, you're being assured success here, right? The Empress is all about the seeds of whatever it is that you're planting, falling into the most fertile ground possible. So whatever it is that you're doing, your success is assured, right? The perfection and glory of the pearl of your creation is already there. It's already inherent within that pearl. And this is a work of your heart, right? So it's going to be, so let's talk about your guidance. Pile number 2. So your guidance is the King of Cups, right? This is trusting your experience, trusting your emotional self to be able to handle it without overprotecting, without pulling back, without hesitation, right? So whatever it is that you're germinating, whatever it is that you're giving, whatever your soul is asking you to move as and move through, it's time to do that. The need to sit on this project is falling away, right? And the bottom line is that you already know this. You already know that you're being asked to share in a wider way, in, let's call it, in a way that will affect the collective, right? In a way that is going to perhaps trigger feelings of, wow, can I actually do this? Wow, is this worth releasing into the world? And the answer is absolutely. The answer is absolutely. Pile number 2, there is no doubt that's what is being asked of you. This beautiful energy of creation is falling right into the most fertile ground. Your success is assured. End of story. There you go. Let's look at your little message. Be positively you. Go forth and be true to yourself and others. Dare to be different and to make mistakes. Create. Do you hear this? For it is in creation that you exist and all comes to life. You will give birth to many beautiful creations and experiences just by being you. Namaste, right? So this is about fearlessly releasing that divine piece of you into the world, right? This is about saying yes to what you've been given so that others may revel in its glory, right? Go forth and be true to yourself and others. Create, right? Look at that. Come on. Create. You can't beat that one, pile number 2. Pile number 2, whatever it is that you're doing, please, 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 begin. Trust it and begin, right? Create. Woo! Hey, hit the subscribe button so you can come back and share with me what you're creating. I already love it. Take care. Be blessed. Happy creating. Welcome, pile number 3. Those of you who have chosen the moth, this beautiful Luna moth. She's so yummy. So the moth is, of course, an air element, and air element energy is about having lots of choices, right? It's about rapid motion. It's about beliefs and thoughts and concepts. Sometimes it's about being ungrounded and not having your feet on the ground, right? So specifically, the moth energy is impulsive. It's hasty, right? So it's attracted to new things. It's attracted to perhaps even things that are easy or simple, right? But it's so beautiful. There's nothing wrong with being attracted to beauty. The danger here is that sometimes those beautiful things attract our attention, and we forget to put our wheels down. We forget to finish our projects. We forget that sometimes in beauty there is the art of illusion, right? And so perhaps instead of chasing light, moth people, pile number 3, the quest for you is to, instead of chasing, to become that light, right? To choose your enthusiasm. And what that means is entheus, right? From the Greek. And so this is about how we embody our own divinity, right? And so if you're talking about moths to a flame, right? A moth is attracted to a flame instead of finding the light within, right? And we're talking figuratively about a flying moth, but when we're talking about you as that moth energy, the key and the message is always about finding the light within, which, guess what? You can do. You can do that. So how are you perhaps in, wow, we're going to take those both because they fell out. Okie dokie. Okay, well, how are you perhaps in illusion, or how are you being asked to deepen into your own light? So let's take a peek at our cards. So we have Strength, which has come out in every pile so far. The Page of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, and Death. So pile number 3, what are you doing about, let's call this improper grounding? So how are you, instead of choosing to be in your present, looking backwards, right? How are you not stepping into your next phase because you're holding yourself somewhere? It's being offered, right? The shift is being offered. The clarity is being offered. Your discernment is beginning to show you where you're holding on to something that's no longer serving you, right? And whatever that may be, it's really keeping you from integrating the lessons of whatever cycle you're coming out of. So whatever you've been doing in the past that has created a sublimation within you, or a sense of being someone or something's reflection instead of choosing to become your own light, right? And so, remembering that you are your best unfinished project, and that's okay, but don't get caught up in your illusion, right? Make sure that you're focused. That Five of Pentacles, or that Five of Cups, is asking you to be present 100% all the time, and not be looking back at what you believe you lost. Just understanding that everything was in the proper place at the proper time, and it's only your job to witness it, learn from it, and release it to whatever its mission is, right? That death is about transforming you based on your choice, your relation to something else, grounded in the present. So having the strength to release whatever is not in your highest and best, right? Whatever might be keeping you in the belief that the grass is greener because this is where I have to be, right? Without this, I cannot move forward. Well, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Pile number 3, sorry. So let's talk here. So we've got the Queen of Swords, the King of Swords, and the Three of Pentacles. So we have a divine pair here. So I'm immediately drawn to want to say, perhaps for you, this is relationship energy. As we move further here, we've got these 2 tens and then the Lovers, and we've got this divine pair. The Three of Pentacles is, how are you grounded within, right, another relationship? So the Three of Pentacles is about collaboration. It's the way that you mix your energy, your grounded energy, with another's grounded energy. It's about giving and receiving. It's about learning and teaching, right? So it's the way that we balance our emotion within relationship. And as we have the King of Queen of Swords here, so this might be some ideas, some outdated ideas that are keeping you stuck, right, in that cycle of looking back. You may believe that you had a perfect partner in the past, and what you're learning is that perfect partner perhaps was not actually so perfect, and perhaps that requires you to let go of a part of you that still agrees with that, and maybe you don't want to do that yet. Acknowledging it, though, is perhaps a beautiful first step, right? So finding that place where you've kind of woven your energy together with maybe someone who's not even in your life anymore, but that you're still holding on to. Or there was an idea, right, within a relationship that isn't working now and needs to be changed. Something that's keeping you with one foot in the past and keeping you out of your present, keeping you out of your here and now, keeping you out of your best experience at this moment. So again, we have that sense of unfinished project, an illusion of something from the past, right? And wishing, right? Wishing that it could have been different, that it could have been easy, right? That your idea or your ideal, in fact, of whatever this was, is holding you back, right? Yeah. So let's talk about what's coming here, right? So you have Temperance, and then you've got the Ten of Cups and Ten of Pentacles. And remember, they fell out right at the same time. So Temperance is this card of synthesis. It's how we take an idea, how we take an experience, how we take our knowledge and forge them together in order to create wisdom, right? And what wisdom allows us to do is transform a thing from from an idea state into reality, right? So we take that sword energy, that air energy, and we bring it down into a synthesized whole, right? Something that's grounded, something that's powerfully foundationed. And we, like, I mean, you just have to understand that this is your key here, right? So whatever it is that you're being asked to synthesize, it is all about releasing the illusion of whatever it was, right? Releasing the illusion of whatever you believed it to be or whatever you wanted it to be, because the reality was that it never was that. It never was that, right? It never brought you emotional fulfillment. It never brought you stability. It never brought you legacy. It never brought you bliss, right? Just the idea of it. And it was never grounded in the present. So you have to get there before you can learn that lesson and move forward with that synthesized information. So your guidance here is the Lovers. Interesting, because the Lovers is, first of all, a card that is validation for the implication that we're talking about here, that this speaks to a relationship in your life, some kind of, I'm going to say, unfulfilled or unrequited love, right? Some relationship that did not meet your manifested reality expectations, right? And the key here is about expectations. The Lovers is also a card of divine choice, right? And so the key to this message for you is about choosing, right? You're making a choice based on what your present is versus your let's call it expected or perceived or wished or hoped for present, right? The illusion that you created in your idea, in your heart, in your mind, regarding this relationship, regarding this person, you're being asked to let that go and understand that only you, right, are your foundation for emotional stability and fulfillment in any aspect of your life, right? You can't hold hands with another person until you're willing to hold hands with yourself, right? Somebody can't love you through your own darkness. I mean, they can love you in spite of and as your darkness, but until you love yourself, you're always going to be seeking someone else's light. And so remembering that perhaps the best love of all is is that other person who holds up the mirror for us and says, do you not see that you are your own light, right? You always have been your own light. And so instead of trying to find that validation in another, witnessing that it's always going to be self-reflexive. It's always going to be about you and where your light is. Never wanting it to be easier, never wanting it to be different, only witnessing what is instead of the illusion that we believe it to be. So pile number 3, however you need to manage that that witnessing, you're being asked to do that, right? And so All right, so you get the message of soul expression. Be courageous. Express yourself freely without censorship, and you will discover that you are far more than you have imagined. Yeah. Let go of fear and doubt by reminding yourself that you're a child of the universe and that all in creation is one. One world, one heart, one soul, right? So you are the light, right? And you may be attracted to the light in someone else, but the place that you honor that light is within yourself, right? By being your own emotional stability, by being your own bliss, by being your own safety and stability, right? Before you can be safety for someone else, you have to understand what it feels like, and then you have to do the work to deprogram your beliefs about what safety is, what love is, what illusion is, right? And so this is a beautiful reading for you, right? Just a reminder that you are the light, and there's no one and nothing who can create that for you, right? Nobody can flip your switch. Only you, because you have to sustain it. So wherever you've been in illusion, whatever you've believed about a relationship where that was shown to be not valid, shown to be not balanced, shown to be not in the present, perhaps shown to be not reciprocal, right? Now it's your choice. You get to choose to move on and transform into the next level of your own self-creation, your own soul expression, right? Let go of that fear and doubt. One world, one heart, one soul. Beautiful. Pile number 3. I wish you nothing but the best. This is so lovely for you. Please go forth and shine. And hit that subscribe button so you can come back and tell me all about it, right? I'll see you next time. Take care. Hey, pile number 4. Unicorn people. How exciting. So unicorn is, this is a spirit element. And this is quite lovely. So this is that connective medium, right? It's the medium between, it's the interstitial, right? Where all things are one, and we witness union and and that beautiful sense of togetherness, right? Where the mysterious and the liminal sort of come into play. Specifically, you have chosen the unicorn, right? And so this is a card of how we reconnect to our higher wisdom, right? So when you think about a unicorn, what do you think? Is a unicorn real? Did it exist, right? And so what you're having is an exercise of belief, right? What do you believe based on your intuition, right? Based on the story that your soul tells you around a unicorn. What kind of animal is or was a unicorn? You know, what were their qualities? You know, did they exist? If they did, what were they here to do? How did that work? So this is about how you process the unknowable, right? How you process things that you have to go into your soul to find the answers to, right? You can't go out and choose to hunt up a unicorn. You can only trust that the unicorn would or will present in your thoughts, in your, wow, interesting, in your imagination. So it's the unknowable, right? The unicorn also activates third eye energy. So the ajna, wow, okay, coming into past and present, right? And then the third eye is about the possible. So this is really witnessing your potential, right? And what is your potential in this moment? Okay, pile number 4. Pile number 4. Let's get after it, shall we? this looks to be an exciting one. So let's start here. So you have Death, the Ten of Wands, the Empress, and the Seven of Pentacles. So, so unicorn people, you have some beliefs that you're really holding on to very tightly. They are rooted very deeply, and you have been holding on to them for quite some time, but you're being asked to release them. You're being asked to put down your you're being asked to put them down and to trust what's coming next in your journey, right? You have this concept of fertile ground and seeds planted, right? And so whatever it is that you've been carrying, that you've been holding on to, that perhaps isn't in alignment with your beliefs, but perhaps have been seeded or planted for you, you're being asked to do a little bit of weeding, a little bit of pruning, a little bit of soil turning, right? Because whatever has been happening for you perhaps has not been in line with what is aligned for you in that next part of your journey. Because what's coming next is something important. Something that has been brewing for you for a long time, something that's actually, the word that wants to come out for you is destined, right? But there's a required release first. You have to be willing to put something down, right? Your hands are completely full, and you don't have room to open your hand in order to get what the universe wants to give you. You're overwhelmed, you're overburdened, you're your garden is completely choked right now. You have too much, whether that is clutter, whether it's mental clutter, whether it's crap in your living room, whether it's junk on your desk, whether it's a pantry full of processed food, whether it's too many ideas and not enough opportunity to work on them, whether it's too many people in your life and not enough quality connections, whatever that is, you already know it, right? You're being asked to make room for something new, something miraculous, right? Something perhaps mysterious, something perhaps unknowable, something that you don't even imagine as possible just yet, but is coming in for you. Let's keep moving. I'm going to tell you right now, you may benefit from something in pile number 3 because this divine pairing came in there as well. So let's talk about the King and Queen of Swords. This is about embodiment and mastery over your thoughts and beliefs. So whatever it is that's going on for you, you are being asked in a very beautiful way to make room for something divine, something divinely guided, something divinely led, something divinely gifted, right? And so whether this is a partner, whether this is a business partner, whether this is someone who's coming in to be of assistance as you move through into this next phase of exploration, whether this is something tangible in terms of love or simply a divinely guided relationship, doesn't really matter, honestly. You just are being asked to create this space, right? And remember, we're reflexing right back into spirits. This is about spirit. So this is space as connective space, right? This is opening up like a whole neural receptor so that you can get what you need because you haven't had it for a long time. So whatever's going on, your job is to create the space, and allow it to come in. Here's the thing. This is going to require a release of your, let's call it 3D patterning, right? It's going to require that you trust your heart, that you trust your impulse as it relates to creating that space. Whatever space you evacuate here, like whatever doors you close, you have to understand that it might seem short-sighted. It might seem like you're limiting your possibilities, but what you're doing is narrowing your field of nonsense, right? and allowing whatever this is to come in. And the thing is, your heart's going to know. This is just about trusting divine guidance. And for your guidance card, you get the Sun, which is the happiest card in the deck, right? This is the brightest hope and optimism and opportunity and luck and fortune and blessing and all of those things. The Sun is about shining so brightly. And let's face it, pile number 4, you haven't been shining very brightly. And that's clear. So how can you just put some things down? Right? Whatever you believe you need to do, whatever you believe you're obligated to, whatever belief you have around the right way, the expected way, you have choices, right? You can continue doing that, or you can choose this this next level, right? So if you look here, you have all of these rigid compartments, and then you have all of these wide open opportunities, right? For whatever this pairing is, right? We can't believe that there's, let me do this a different way. If we believe that unicorns exist, we can't believe that there's only one, right? We have to believe that they come in complementary pairings or groupings or community, right? And so if you're going to step into the possible, you've got to believe that everything is possible. And that means not limiting what you expect, not limiting what you choose to experience, right? Blow the doors off. Blow the doors off, because you have every indication that that's exactly what you're being asked to do. How absolutely lovely. Really, and the key here, because we're talking about this unicorn energy, and this is that Ajna third eye energy, really focusing not on the past, really focusing as the present, right? And understanding that within the present moment, all things are possible. You know, that's the way to level up into that next space for you. Which is absolutely lovely. All right, your message here is the light of truth, right? The light of truth that emanates from your heart can dissolve all fear and apprehension. Trust in life. Proceed with confidence, and all will come together or be resolved in the most positive way for everyone. Repeat this mantra over and over. I follow my truth. I trust in life. 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 Whatever you're releasing will be given back to you. Perhaps in not a way that you're familiar with, but in a way that will make you forget you ever thought you knew what to expect, right? Yeah, trust in life, my friends. Pile number 4. Wow, this is amazing. I can't wait to hear how this goes for you. Hit the subscribe button so you can come back and tell me. And until then, be so blessed, right? Open those hands wide, and good luck. I can't wait to hear about it. Be blessed. Take care.